You heard the rest. Now here's the best. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast.
And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here. Back again. After a pretty decent weekend. Nothing to complain about. You know, had a decent time Friday night with the iRacing with the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast truck series, and then did a little yard work and everything like that. Kind of quiet sports news week again, but there's a couple stories I want to talk about and kind of give my opinion, what I think should or shouldn't happen, just like every week. Hope you guys had a good weekend as well. Before we get started, head over to staytunedsports.net. It's our website that we've had up for a few years now. On the right hand side is all social media, and where you can listen to the show itself as well. I believe I have the Podbean website over there as well, so you want to remember that one, because we're going to be doing another giveaway this weekend for the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series on Friday night. Also, head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/stsport. Just another avenue to show your support to the show, which this past week, Garrett Gleason bought me 3 beers over there. I appreciate that. Good guy. He heads the TNR league over there, iRacing league. Bunch of good guys there. We actually just raced last night. You can find us Tuesday nights on 3Y TV over on YouTube. A little bit of a rough night last night. I think I only finished roughly about 50 laps. It was my first ever time doing short track racing, and our good buddy Scott Crump actually joined us as well, but we both got wrecked out pretty early, so I was able to relax and sit back and watch the rest of the broadcast over there. But jumping into the show, this past Friday was the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series at Kansas Speedway. Really fun race. A lot of side-by-side racing. Even with myself, there was a couple times that I was able to pass some cars and they'd pass me back. So, I mean, it feels like, at least as far as my confidence in myself, seems like it's starting to come around. I'm starting to not just get pushed around anymore. I'm fighting for spots and things like that. So it's a good feeling, you know. I was getting a little worried there. It was taking a little bit longer than I was expecting. But this coming Friday, we are going to Knock Hill. It's a road course. I'm actually going to start practicing tonight after we're done recording here. I always liked road courses more so, like when it came to watching NASCAR. I always liked Watkins Glen, road courses like that, because, not to sound like ignorant or anything like that towards NASCAR drivers, but all you're doing is making left turns. And you know what, like with me learning iRacing now, I can't think like that anymore, because just because they're making left turns doesn't mean that's where they're at on the track is the right spot to be. And I saw that with Kansas. Kansas, I just could not get my speed going when I was running as low as I can. When I was going through the center or even up top there, that's where the speed was. And that's actually what helped Martin Plout win the race. It's his second win on the season. But, you know, Joshua Sobel was up there. Tristan Maurer was up there for a little while. And then he actually did finish in second place. So, I mean, he did make his way back after having a little bit of tire issues. But, you know, I'm definitely getting a different outlook on iRacing and real life NASCAR, which is something else I want to bring up. I did tune in a little bit to NASCAR this past Sunday, and I forget the pit crew guy's name, but the one car actually had his lug nut stuck on the lug bolt, and it was a good half hour, 45 minutes they were working on it, and they brought this 6'5", 300-pound all muscle hillbilly out, and one hit of the hammer and it popped it off. But it was just funny. I mean, even all the other pit crews and everything were watching it unfold, I should say, with how everything was going with that car. But even that race, they were at Kansas as well. I only watched maybe half hour, 45 minutes of it. It was entertaining, Byron had a nice pass, and then 10 minutes later, he blew a tire. Harvick spinning off pit road made me feel good, because that's something that should not happen for a veteran of his caliber. But as far as this Friday, since I'm kind of going off of a rant there, this Friday we're at, like I said, Knock Hill. Just listening to the guys talk today about it. They tested this course in the off season to see if they wanted to put it on the schedule and everything, and they all agreed it's a fun track, but it is a tricky track. It's not like Watkins Glen. There's different level changes and all that stuff. So even though you're making lefts and right, you still gotta adjust to the course as the race goes on. So that's kind of why I'm looking forward to it. But as far as my 3 drivers to watch for this race, here they are. Now, if you've been following the Stay Tuned Sports podcast truck series from the get-go, Philip Scott is one of the best in the league, in the series, I should say, at road courses. So he's my first one to keep an eye out for. On top of just being really good at road courses, I mean, he's, I believe, first in points for the season. He's putting together a hell of a year. He's been up there top 5 almost every race, and now you give him one of his strong points in his driving skills. It's going to be tough to beat him. And probably the reason why I'm saying to keep an eye on him is I still think he has the biggest road course win on record still. It's double digit, time. So just curious if he could beat that record. After him, Martin Plute. He's in second place right now, but he has 2 wins. Not too sure how good he is at road courses, but the way he's been putting his season together, it would not surprise me to see him up there in first or second place. Looking for that 3rd win. Does he get it? That's why you got to tune in. Like I said, I wouldn't put it past him that he may get his 2nd win. And the question that you would have to ask yourself is, if he does get that 3rd win, does this set the tone for the rest of the season for all the other drivers? Is he the new Jason Gracias from last year, who was just dominant all year? I mean, there was other drivers that were right there next to him, but he always figured out a way to pull it out. Then my 3rd one is Tristan Maurer. Came in 2nd, like I said, this past week. He's been another one that's been consistent all year. At Kansas, he started off good. He was running for the lead. I believe he led the 2nd most laps, possibly, in the race, but had a little bit of tire fall off and kind of fell back, but eventually making it his way back up to 2nd. And right now he's 3rd in points, so he'll win here, locks him into the playoffs, plus gets him a little closer to that 1st place spot in points. So those are my 3 racers to watch this week. Not sure how well I'm going to do. Do I expect to get lapped? I believe so. It's going to happen. I'm just going to try my best to just finish the race. And speaking of that, we're going to do another giveaway for this race. So here are the rules. You have to tune in Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, over at 3YTV on YouTube. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series. And watch to see what position I'm in on lap 42. Once you see what position I'm in, head over to stsports.podbean.com. Look for this episode. And in the comments section of this episode, tell me what place I was in on lap 42. And then I will, if it's a tie between 2 people, I'll pick a name out of the hat. And you will win a $25 Amazon gift card. So make sure you tune in Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time over on 3YTV for the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series to win $25. Antonio Brown is back in the news, but kind of a good way, I would say. Came out and said he wants to retire as a Steeler. Now, when that first came out, everybody thought, whoa, he wants to go back and play for Pittsburgh. Shortly after he made that tweet, he said no, not to play, like to legit sign a one-day contract and retire. And I start seeing some comments on Twitter, Facebook, asking the question, should the Steelers sign him to a one-day contract with how their relationship ended? And to be honest, I think they should. You know, he played for them for 9 seasons. It wasn't like from day one he was a bad apple. I still believe that Vontae Burfict hit is what made him go nuts finally. And we're seeing real life CTE happen right in front of us. I mean, I could go down a list of things, you know, records and stuff like that he did for them, but I mean, his rookie season alone helped the team get to the Super Bowl. Granted, they lost, but he put together a hell of a career with the Steelers. And to a point where even towards the end of his 9-year career, or 9-year tenure with Pittsburgh, Big Ben wasn't the best at that time. And he still put up solid numbers. And I think if Pittsburgh were to sign him to a one-day contract, this will help put that whole bad blood thing, that whole drama thing that happened between them, that will bury it. And I think that's what Antonio Brown needs right now. I mean, he's like, when's the last time he was in the news on a good note? You know, when he signed with Tampa Bay 2 years ago and helped them get to the Super Bowl, he was quiet. For the most part, I should say. Then last year, the whole storming out the field and releasing text messages between him and the Buccaneers. And, you know, I think right now, Antonio Brown needs a win. A mental win. And I think this would be a good start. Especially since now it's coming out that there's some bad blood between Pittsburgh and Big Ben. So on Pittsburgh's side, maybe this would be a good PR move to say, well, you know what? Brown was the bigger headache amongst the two. We could bury this. We could bury any bad blood with Big Ben as well. So I would like to see the Steelers sign Brown to a one-day contract. You know, I don't think he did good enough to have his number retired or put his name up in the Ring of Honor that most of these stadiums have. But I think he deserves a one-day contract to sign with the team that drafted him out of Central Michigan. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have a little bit of basketball talk, and we're bringing back our hot minute take, talking about the Jets and the Lions. Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 because I have a hard time sleeping at night. So what is the stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients helps support better sleep quality and recovery. It's one thing you can do every single day and costs you less than $3 a day. So it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/emerging. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/emerging to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And we are back. Thank you for taking a quick listen to our sponsor there, Athletic Green. Make sure you head over to their website to see what they got. Maybe they have some stuff there for you, and make sure you use that code. So, I believe yesterday came out that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to keep Doc Rivers around for another season. And I know there was a little bit of talk that he may not come back. The Sixers might go in a different direction just because of some other coaching jobs that opened up. Maybe Rivers may want to go. I think this is a good move by the Sixers to keep Rivers around for another year. He's been in Philly for 3 years now, and dealing with the whole Ben Simmons drama, he still had a competitive team. He saw that Joel Embiid was the one person, the one player that they should build around other than Ben Simmons, and that's why they traded for James Harden. Now, when it came playoff time, James Harden was nowhere to be seen, and fans were questioning, was this the right move to trade for him? And I still think it is. When it comes to like these big superstars, these big names, it's hard to just slap them together and expect results. It did take them a while to get Harden used to playing with the Sixers team and trying to get that chemistry going. And that's the exact reason why I think this is the right move to keep Rivers around. You give Rivers a full year with James Harden, with Embiid, and I'm going to say now, they got to bring a third big name in. Someone that can, when Harden's having a bad game, can't pick it up. I know the young kid, Maxey, played really well this year. So if you bring a third one in and Maxey comes back next year and plays just as good, they're going to be the team to beat. Because it's been 21 years since they got past the second round. All right. And the NBA league for 10, 15 years now has always been if you want to win, if you look back and see what teams won the championships were big name teams. LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Bosh, with the Heat, LeBron out with the Lakers, with his crew out there, and the Cavaliers. That's just how this league is. So they need to bring a big name in, who's going to produce, and let Rivers do his job. And also, in any league, any sports, I never liked just bring a coach in and say, hey, you got 2 years to produce or you're gone. You got to give him time to put his system in play and get the young guys, get their talents going. And we're seeing that with the Flyers right now, who are rumored to be bringing Barry Trotz in tomorrow. Well, you're listening to Thursday, so today. And I really hope that they sign him. When we signed Vigneault, I was hoping we got Trotz, got Vigneault. We all know how that went down. Trotz turned the Islanders around. But as far as, Doc Rivers, like I said, I think it's the right move. And I think it's going to pay dividends very soon. So to end the show, I'm actually going to do the hot minute take here. And I saw this question posted on Twitter. Which team do you think will be competitive again first? The Lions or the Jets? And, got me thinking. You think about both teams, they've been shitty for a decade or two now. But they're starting to put pieces together. So who is going to be the more competitive team before the other? So if you look at the past couple drafts, and you look at the front office, the way they're structured, and when you ask yourself the question, who's going to be more competitive in the next couple of years, Detroit Lions or the New York Jets? I think the Jets are going to be it. Joe Douglas is running the show. He's a former protege of Howie Roseman. We've seen how Howie Roseman has been, other than a year or two here or there, put together a very competitive team. You look at the Jets players, young players, I think they got more talented players. The Lions are still looking for a quarterback. Jared Goff is not the answer there. They have the receiver in Jameson. But I just think the Jets have more talented players than the Lions. And I would say within the next 2 years, you'll see the Jets with back-to-back winning records. Yes, that is correct. I said what I said, and I mean it. The Jets will have back-to-back winning records in the next couple years. And Detroit is still going to suck. All because I believe they have the Barry Sanders curse, which is they did him dirty for all those years, wasted his career, and now they're paying for it. So I think that's going to be it for us this week. Make sure you head over to staytunesports.net. So you can follow all of our social media accounts, which is on the right-hand side there. The Podbean link should be there as well. That's why you want to tune in Friday night, 3 Wide TV, to watch the Stay Tuned Sports podcast truck series. And when you head over to after you watch the race, pay attention on lap 42, see what place I'm in. Head over to the Podbean link, and under this episode's comment section, type in what place I was in on lap 42, and you'll win a $25 gift card. Head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/ST Sports. Just another avenue to show your support for the show. Like I said, our good friend Garrett Gleason showed his support this past week. I much appreciate that, Garrett. As well as everybody else that has shown their support over the past couple years of us doing this podcast here. So, till next week, this is your good friend Jimbo, signing out.